Hey, we were worried that we were live, and now we're live, and now we should be worried.
Yeah, we should be worried. Hi, everybody. We're live. We're excited to share things with you. We've got Amy's on here. Michelle's.
Oh, hi, Amy. You're up early. So we just want to tell everybody about this year's Summer Leadership Institute. So we've got like 100 things we want to show you. Where do you want to start?
Let's just start by making sure people understand. So I'm just going to talk about the event as it used to be, and that we're switching to virtual and what that means. So lots of people know about the Summer Leadership Institute held at Syracuse University. We usually would get about 500 administrators coming together, and teachers and leaders of all kinds coming together to learn how to create inclusive schools. And we are going virtual this year. And
that means, hey, sorry, my friend Kristen just jumped on. That means I can see all my friends from Perrysburg.
Yay! Awesome.
So, but let's talk about virtual, Julie, because like all of us are a little bit zoomed out.
Right. So the word virtual doesn't sound maybe exciting to you initially, but we have designed. So I'm teaming up with Kristie, and I'm so excited to be working with you, Kristie, because we are making a virtual extravaganza. It is not just like a sit and get type thing.
Right.
So if you were to look at the whole schedule, so we've got a behind the scenes schedule, and in it has all of these beautiful striped colors. And why that matters to me is that we have time every day for you to take a gigantic screen break.
Or a nap.
Or a nap, right? We have time every day for engaging live content. We have other time where you can be taking in recordings of your choice that we have created for you that I'm like so excited for you to all see. So the beauty of virtual, there's a lot of beauties, but one of them is a lot of people would go to the event and they'd get all fired up, and then they'd go back to their district, and then life would get in the way, and they would say, oh, I went to this conference. It was really inspiring, but I can't remember exactly, blah, blah, blah. This time you get all access to everything forever. And so what that means is if you loved watching Shelley Moore and you want to show Shelley Moore to your staff, you get to do that. The other thing is we want to tell you we've got a bunch of new speakers that you probably didn't know. And I won't,
let's just go ahead.
So we've got amazing speakers and self-advocates all lined up. We have 26 plus speakers coming, but I hope you notice that's Bettina Love, Dr. Bettina Love, and she's going to be coming and speaking, and we couldn't be more excited for her message right now. Many of you know her work on abolitionist teaching. She's a real hero of mine, and so she's coming, and I can't hardly stand it. Of course, you probably know Shelley Moore. Shelley's coming, and she and I, we like to pretend that we do the same work in different parts of the world. And she's just a hero of mine also. And then Stephanie Travers. So many of you know Stephanie and got to see her speak last year. So she's a student with Down syndrome who went all the way through school, included all the way through high school.
So maybe I'll, speaking of Shelley.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good. So there's Shelley. Today we had to take some screenshots of you, Shelley, and we tried to get cute ones. We think this one's a cute one. What we want you to notice is her t-shirt, though. For this event, we have all sorts of fun t-shirts. So this one says, "You can sit with us." And Shelley Moore represents our t-shirts on all of her 5-minute videos more than anyone else. She's like a spokesmodel. This one says, "Got inclusion." You might think it says "got collusion," but it doesn't. It says "got inclusion," and there's a question mark, but her blazer's covering up the sides. So some people are going to come just for the content and the speakers, and other people are going to come, frankly, for the fashion, for the inclusion fashion. We feel like
for the fashion.
Yeah, we're like a leader in the inclusion fashion industry, which is a growing industry.
That's fabulous. Yes. And so let's talk a little bit about, so Julie was telling y'all that everything will be recorded. So there will be some live sessions, but if you're like, oh, I'm at work, or I have to work, or I might actually get a staycation, which doesn't sound very good anymore because we've all been kind of on a really long one. Right. So what we wanted to do is show you sort of like how it breaks down, the types of things that'll be offered, and then just know that everything will be recorded. So maybe, Julie, you can talk through each of these and then talk a little bit about the accessibility that we've built in as well. Because I think what's amazing about working with you and the team at Inclusive Schooling is you all model inclusion in when we do things virtually or when we do things on ground, really thinking about how are you modeling inclusion. So maybe let's talk a little bit about both of those things.
Yeah, I just want to say yesterday someone said, I'm signing up just to see how you're modeling inclusion, because they're trying to create their own virtual sessions, and so they're coming just for that. But this is a piece of it. So we've got these incredible, inspirational human beings. I don't know if you know LaDerek Horn, but he's going to be joining us on a Facebook Live. I think he's a dream human, and he does a lot of spoken word, talking about his experience as a person with a disability in schools, and it is genius. I don't know if you know Paul Wesselman, but he's the Ripples guy, and I met him last year, and we've become friends, and I just really wanted him to help create the ripples of love and connection in this bigger conference. And I don't know if you know Tony Ferriello. Tony and I just met a year ago, and he's transgender, and he's going to be talking all about how do you create inclusive spaces for transgender students. And I find him to be just really accessible and useful to work with. And so I'll tell you, there's going to be 8 live sessions that are really big, our big keynotes. We've got 6 on-demand sessions. We've got 5 advocate stories. So when we say advocates, we're talking about people with disabilities who share their story with us. Some people, Kristie, say to me, I come just for the advocate stories.
Yeah, and I think what's really exciting this year is that we have advocates from the age of 15 to the age of 35. And so that what I think is so inspiring for those of us in early childhood, 15 seems like a long ways away, and 35, but I think it also gives us so much hope to say, look at these amazing lives when we do inclusion well. It just gives us a picture of hope and reality. So that I'm very excited about in terms of our friend Otto will be there, and Micah. Some people know Micah's work around inclusion. So yeah, so those self-advocacy stories, you'll have all of them recorded. So if you need inspired in October or in February of next year, you'll still have those that you can use. All right, yeah. So I interrupted you, but okay, so we're at 5 advocacy stories. I felt like I got to do a partridge in a pear tree.
I was just thinking about singing it. Yeah, 5 advocates. Anyway, 4 district panels. So people say to us, this is great philosophically, but I want to hear from people who are living it, working it, doing it every single day. I want to hear about their struggles. I want to hear about their resistance. I want to hear how they overcame that resistance. Don't you worry, because we have some of the best districts out there doing this work coming to speak, and we'll get to hear their story from the beginning to the end. You know, where are they today? Where are they going tomorrow? We've got a bunch of topical panels, and Kristie will talk more about some topical panels in a little bit. We've got some in-depth sessions, and we've got yeah, Shyla's saying, keeping the vision alive. Exactly. We're really working to create a worldwide approach to inclusive schooling. So the other benefit of a virtual event is that we will be able to get people from all over the world to come join us. Mm-hmm. Usually we have about 4 or 5 countries represented at every live SLI. I expect we're going to be more global this year than ever.
Yeah. So when we think about the possibility to connect. So we're going to do 2 things for you. So we're going to talk a little bit about connections, and then Julie's going to show you one of these tricks or things that we do during the SLI. But connecting is really important. So some people will come by themselves. Some people will come as a part of a team. And some people will meet really maybe an inspiring team that was in their state that they never knew. So there will be time for you to go into breakout rooms where you'll be able to meet people from, again, all over the world. You'll also have strategic times to meet with your team, whether they're in attendance or not. If you're just like, I'm so inspired, I've got this, I've got it finally figured out, and you can pull your group together for 5 minutes, for 50 minutes. We've got all of that kind of networking built in and teaming. But let's tell them about the connection cards too.
Oh, sure. So it's funny, but at the Summer Leadership Institute, if you've been there in the past, we have these connectors. Sorry, here we go. Connectors. And what it is just these times and moments where we're going to connect you to others and ask you questions. Like, for example, Kristie, I'm going to ask you this question. Okay. What was your first job in life?
Swimming teacher. Well, probably a babysitter, but a swim teacher.
Did you know that I was a swimming teacher too, for real?
For real?
Yeah. WSI certified swim instructor. See, we didn't know, right?
We didn't know.
And we didn't plan that. I know. What a cool connection. So, later if we're talking, I can say, do you do Tickle Tea Touch or Monkey Airplane Soldier for your elementary backstroke, right? We've got a lot to talk about.
Those might be geographical references. In Idaho, we never said those things.
What did you say?
I don't know. It's been too long and too many beers ago. I don't remember those things.
That's okay. Anyway, the point is we have all sorts of, what was the first thing you bought with your own money?
I was going to say beer, but that wasn't true. Probably stickers. You know how we had those books of stickers? Did you have those too?
Oh, yeah. I had a serious collection of my favorite were the puffies and the smelly stickers and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't like to put them in the book, though. I didn't like to use the sticker.
Correct.
Yeah.
Kristen said, LOL. If you also have a love for stickers, the truth is I have my sticker collection right here, right by me. Watch.
Of course you do. I don't. I'm going to have one. Oh, my gosh.
I still have it.
Oh, my Lord. I love that.
Every day I put stickers.
Covered it.
We didn't plan to talk about this, but I think you need to know that every day I put inspirational stickers in my planner to keep me going. But anyway, so I'm still into stickers. Okay.
Right.
Sorry, we got off track.
Right, Shayla. I don't know if I said your name right. Sorry, but yeah, we've always been teachers. That's been very true.
That is very true.
All right, so where were we? I forgot. Oh, connections. So yeah,
connectors. We were talking about fast. We didn't talk about it, but
let's go ahead and talk about that one.
And we've also got a lot of break cards and things like this. But what that means is there'll be times when we're going to be bringing you together with other people to really connect. And we might even create spaces. If you say, I'm an administrator and I'm working on resistance in our system, we can put together a group to talk about that. We've got all kinds of ways that we can group you so that you connect to the right people and feel like you're getting the right supports. So coming together is the first thing. And then we're going to be providing supports to people all year long that come to the Institute. So really.
Yeah, we used to write notes that we forgot to talk about. We forgot to talk about accessibility.
Okay.
And we forgot to talk about sustainability. I'm making a note. So yeah, so let's go backwards. So accessibility, unless I was just not listening, because sometimes I'm not.
You're fine. And we didn't even start talking about accessibility.
Okay. So we're talking about modeling inclusion. So it's been really important to the team that we find a way to make it as inclusive as possible in a broad way. But we want to make sure that the live sessions are closed captioning, which all of us sort of appreciate. But remember, they'll all be recorded. So if you can't catch a live session, it will be recorded with closed captioning and a transcript after the fact with lifetime access.
Yes.
Okay. What else do we have for accessibility?
We have ASL interpreters that will be doing all the live sessions. And so you'll be able to stream live with the ASL interpreters or not, which we're really excited about this year. We've got a graphic recorder. So if you've been there the last, I think 1 year, Cheryl came. This is so cool. So Cheryl Kniesel from Meaningful Marks comes and she supports us by drawing graphic notes of everything that's being said. And then you get a copy of the graphic notes. Why are we using graphic notes? Because we know that students really benefit from drawing their notes. We know that teaching kids that there are multiple ways to, it's just a new access point to access content. And so we're going to be using that, sharing it, and then people, I love going to schools and seeing Cheryl's drawings all over, because last year people would print out the entire poster for each session and had them all over their offices, and it was just beautiful. It's a way to remember the content in new ways and inclusive ways.
Yeah. And so I'll put, after the fact, I'll put up an example from our PD for Paris course, because Cheryl did graphic recording for all of our courses that Julie and I have been teaching this summer for paraprofessionals. Okay, so that was one thing, accessibility. Another way to connect, which is sort of about sustainability, is we will have a Facebook group. So anybody who registers for the Summer Leadership Institute, which we're capping at around 1,000, we will have a Facebook group where you will have continued access to that network of amazing global citizens. Let's see, what else? Do you want to talk about panels? Do you want to talk about our breakout session? Do you want to talk about early childhood?
I was just going to talk about the monthly updates related to
let's do that.
sustainability. So So it's not just access to 4 days of content. So it is access to 4 days of content. That's true. But we're going to be thinking about new ways to support people who are doing this work ongoing. And so you not only get those 4 days of content, but we'll be doing monthly check-ins with you, and we'll be providing ongoing support in all kinds of creative ways that we're pretty excited to reveal actually at the Institute. So some of it I'm trying to keep under wraps, but
which is very hard for her.
It's very hard for me. One of them I can tell you is a book club that we're going to be doing, and we'll be supporting learners who are interested in Brene Brown's work in the book Dare to Lead. We think it goes like hand in hand with this. And so we felt like we really wanted to make sure that we highlight that book and highlight that work. But there's a bunch more supports we're going to be putting in. So people are sometimes thinking, okay, cool, we get these 4 days, but it's more than that.
Yeah, so let's show the overview. I'll put the register, let's see, I can't do more than one thing. Let's show my screen.
Yeah.
And let's talk through the schedule.
Yeah, that's great.
Is good? Okay. So I'll just quickly say what you can't read on the part of your screen, which is just sort of a breakdown of how the day goes. And so there's like live stream, there's opportunities to watch on-demand materials and engage with on-demand materials at your own pace. There's time for screen breaks and bio breaks. There's networking. There's time with question answer. What we'll show you at the end of each day is there's options. Like every time almost there is a option to do something. And so you can opt to do some networking. You can opt to do a Q&A with the day's speakers. So that kind of pie shows you there's a variety every day. All right, Julie, go ahead and hit the highlights of the first day, which is August 3rd.
Yeah, so as you can see, this it's broken down by each of the days. Some of you might be thinking, wait, the SLI is usually a 3-day event. Well, we decided to make it a 4-day event because simply we had too many fabulous speakers and we needed to figure out how to make sure you had access to everyone. So August 3rd is our first big day. We're going to be doing the gearing up, explaining everything you need to know. Then we're going to jump into some foundational information. What do you need to understand about inclusion? Then Dr. Bettina Love is going to take the stage, and she's going to be talking to us all about how do we create anti-racist school systems and school practices. Then Wretches and Jabberers is being shown. So we get to see the film Wretches and Jabberers, which already is like maybe my favorite film of all times. And then Larry and Tracy are joining us. So if you don't know who Larry Bissonette and Tracy Thresher are, they're the stars of the show, and they're going to be answering questions for us. And then Brianna is going to be talking about her experience. So I don't know if anyone saw her, maybe on my podcast or heard her. She does something called My Very Unspecial Education, talking about what life is like in a segregated setting. And now she's a doctoral student and brilliant scholar, and I can't wait for you to meet her. She's amazing.
And my dog's barking, so sorry, guys. He sees a shadow or something. All right.
So question, I love, Kristen, that you're asking questions.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to come back? Here, I'll come back over here for a minute.
Oh, it's a really important question. Do any of the options include virtual beers with Kristie? Yes. Right, Kristie?
Kristen, yes. And it was funny because earlier Julie was asking me questions as we prepared for our Facebook Live today, and every answer was beer. So, yes, there will be fun opportunities to connect with good friends.
Yep, and we were joking. We've got a whole social section where people want to get together and socialize with one another, and it's going to be really, really cool.
We call it the vodka room, the wine room, and the beer room.
Yes, and this is at 5 o'clock, in case you're wondering. At 5 o'clock, this is when that happens.
Eastern time.
Yeah, Eastern.
Okay, so, all right, we'll just have Izzy, the dog in the background. Okay, so coming back here, now we're on day 2. So we had Dr. Love, and we had Brianna, and we had a film, and now we have day 2.
So like so day 1 already is pretty mind-blowing, and now day 2 is Shelley Moore, followed by LaDerek Horn, and then these self-advocate sessions. So we've got Kayla, we've got Stephanie, Micah, Sean, and Otto. All of these people are like, each one of them is worth the price of admission, honestly, and so instead you get all of them. Why I'm telling you that is this. If you're a school administrator, you might take their actual stories and use them with your school teams all year long for professional development. And they're going to be available to you forever. And then Tony Ferriello. So he is super inspiring human being who's going to be talking about transgender kids and how to really rethink creating welcoming spaces for all genders. And I'm thrilled that he's joining us, just like thrilled. And that, Kristen, that at the bottom where it says networking and socializing, that is exactly, precisely where we can sit back and chill and talk, which is something else I'm pretty excited about doing, is just being able to connect with everybody, even virtually.
And I was going to say, Julie, let's the district spotlights. I know that Dana was on earlier. She's still maybe from the great state of Nevada. She's the 619 coordinator. And one of her districts, Carson City, will be the preschool district spotlight for pre-K. But there'll be a pre-K spotlight, an elementary, a junior high, middle school, and a high school, so that you'll have these opportunities. And those will be live, and they'll be repeated on August 6th, so that if you want to see more than one age. All right, then see, you're going to have to get some rest, guys, because we have some amazing stuff. All right, Julie, day 3.
Yeah, so day 3, so August 5th, what that's going to look like is we are so thrilled that Pat Radel has said yes to join us, and he's going to teach us about all the myths, the legal myths related to inclusion. So if you don't know Pat, you need to know lots of things about him, but 2 things that are really important. 1, he's a lawyer and he does special ed law, and he's a brilliant friend of mine. And then 2, he has a son with Down syndrome named Mark, who is a fabulous advocate. And so he's going to be sharing his experiences through some myths around inclusion. You're not going to want to miss this one. Then we've got Keith Jones. So Keith Jones is coming, and he, if you don't know who he is, he stars in the film Including Samuel, and is an incredible advocate and speaker. And we were just so lucky to get him to come. So we've got Pat, then Keith, then we have these breakout sessions. Kristie, you share your ECE panel information, and I'll share the second one.
Okay, do you want me to do the ECE first?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to come back over here for a minute because I want to share with you. So some of you know my dear friends, Isela Garcia and Ijuma Jordan. And let me just tell you a little bit about, maybe I'll just, I'm going to put you on audio only for a minute, Julie, but you're still right here. So I have recruited my dear friends. I've been dragging them all over with me because I'm like, I got to have you always with me now. So Ijuma and Isela, we're actually going to do 2 things together. And then there's going to be a 3rd thing for early childhood. So for any of you early childhood people who are always like, this is like older kid stuff, but what about 3-year-olds? We gotcha. So we're going to do a hour-long on-demand session, the 3 of us, on our very best tips and solutions for inclusion pre-K, knowing that we have lots of work to do for the bridge between preschool and kindergarten. We certainly have work to be done in childcares and infant toddler programs, but we're going to focus in on the preschool for a little bit. We're also going to have a panel on day 3, as Julie was talking about, where we're going to talk about race, ability, and equity, and we're going to talk about how those intersect and impact, and how to get it right from the beginning. And then on the 4th day, which I'm fast forwarding a little bit, but this is sort of the early childhood lineup, I have a whole new panel of early childhood experts from Florida to Nevada to Illinois to India to Spain. So we've got a global representation of a panel of early childhood amazing people that will answer any question you ever had but were afraid to ask about little kids. So this could be somebody that's new to a building that has pre-K in their building. They're like, what do you do with 3-year-olds? And so we're going to have an amazing panel of people from all different types of programs and districts and states that can talk and answer any of your questions about inclusion in early childhood. So that's 3 big things for early childhood. Isela and Ijuma and I will talk about our best solutions. That'll be an on-demand recording that you can access for a lifetime. We'll do an hour-long Q&A discussion about race, ability, and equity. And then I'll have a bigger panel on the 4th bonus day that'll be there just to answer your questions.
Awesome.
All right.
I'm thrilled that we're getting an early childhood sort of through line through this event, because the beauty is so many times I'll go to a school system and they're working really K-12 on inclusion, but we're missing it early childhood. And we can't tell you how important it is that both families and students are prepared for inclusive educational experiences in preschool settings. So that through line is like kind of mind-blowing. Can you return back to the little schedule? I just want to make sure everybody knows what happens each day.
Yeah, and I want you to finish out the IQ. So let me do that. Let me get rid of me and make this big and go back over. All right, so we were here at day 3.
Yes.
And breakout.
I just wanted to explain, we're going to be talking about your district's IQ. So we know that IQ, intelligence quotients, have been used for decades to make decisions about children. And we are pretty against the constructs of IQ and the use of IQ in school systems. And so instead, we're really looking at your school's inclusion quotient instead of looking at students' intelligence quotient. So the inclusion quotient of your school system is really how to measure how well you're doing on many, many, many different ways that a school can be inclusive. And that's going to be time to take to really reflect on your school system. Where are your strengths? Where are your next steps? And then to start to create your next steps in your own school settings. So I can't even wait to reveal the IQ because it hasn't been anywhere at all. So this is the first time that this IQ will be revealed. And I think it's going to be a game changer in school systems. Thanks, Shyla. Shyla said, I like that. I like it too. I like from moving from how well does this kid fit into this system to how well does this system support all students. And then we've got Paul, who's coming up as Ripples of Resilience. And then we have a wrap up and looking forward.
And I was just noticing, Julie, that was before we added the 4th day. So this will really be another networking and social time. So because we have a half day on Thursday.
So yeah, we added a half day because that's how Kristie and I roll. We're just like, what else can we do? So we are putting in the last day a lot of really, really cool learning experiences so the Fialka family will be there. So Micah's whole family will be talking about their experiences with inclusion. We have a whole session where I can support you through how do you really look at your school's inclusion quotient. And then how do you take it to the next level? So how do we increase inclusion for more students in every school? We've got an early childhood panel of experts that Kristie mentioned. So this is the 4th day one. And then this bottom part, I'm so excited about. It's we're going to hold sessions for administrators who want to figure out how to utilize everything they learned to create professional development for the whole year. We know that budgets are tight at this moment. And so... Thank you. Right. Look at those new glasses.
You're rubbing up on me.
I love that you put virtual costumes on me. And so basically we'll be talking about how do we take the information that you have and make it sustainable throughout the year. And that part I'm just like beyond about. I don't really know what I'm not beyond about because this is going to be amazing. It's kind of like it's the biggest virtual inclusion event that we've ever held. It's just going to be unreal.
And I think I interrupted you because with your
My
glasses, but yeah. I'm going to restate it just in case you missed it because I don't know anyone else that has done this. So part of, as you'll notice, that Julie and I love to talk, and we are teachers at heart and all of that. We have been our whole lives, right? So we're going to use some time on Thursday to sit down with anybody who wants to join us and map out what might your professional development look like this year. How do you go virtual? How do you do good adult professional development, whether you're on ground or virtual? How do you keep going with it when it gets rough or hard? How do you then take everything that you have on your dashboard, these, I don't even know how many hours, hundreds of hours, but probably not 100, but a lot of hours of content and inspiration. How would you actually reuse it? How would you do a book study with the content from the Summer Leadership Institute? So we're going to get really practical about how to use the content in your PD this coming year, whether you're doing a statewide conference, whether you're doing a district staff meeting that you want to use the connection cards, anything like that. That's what we'll talk about.
Yeah. Thanks, Kristie. So Janice is joining us live. Hey, Janice, I'm super.
Oh, the Fialkas are represented.
Yeah. And so Micah, Janice's son, is a good friend of mine and lives in Syracuse now. Anyway, we're so excited. And actually, Janice is the reason Kristie and I connected.
That's right.
So Janice, you're kind of responsible for all this. So thank you, because what a dream team it has been to get to work with Kristie. And so the whole Fielka family is going to share their experiences in supporting Micah and through his whole schooling experience. And then if you don't know about Janice's book, The Dance of Partnership, you should just go ahead and Google it. Go ahead and buy it. If you're a parent or an educator, it's really how do we work together with families. The most beautiful work out there is by Janice. So just go ahead and Google Dance of Partnership.
I'm going to put it in the live stream. I think this is the other thing that I love about Julie. She elevates everybody. And so one of the amazing things that you will see from our lineup this year is that we are going to connect you with every speaker, as much as they want to and as much as you want to, so that you can really learn from them. I mean, Janice, we're going to just talk about you since you're here, but she grounds me. So like I just shared the inner tube poem the other day, Janice. So Janice always grounds me with poetry. And I was talking to my really good friend, Jennifer Lopez, which sounds better than it, but she's actually J-Lo, but she's just J-Lo to me, not Jennifer.
That's everyone.
And she said, well, Kristie, how should we end our call? Because we had a really heavy call. I have some amazing colleagues who are white who spend time daily with me talking about where our white supremacy is showing up and how we can do and what we're struggling with. And J-Lo and I had this big 2-hour conversation. I got like 12,000 steps in, and she says, how should we end it? And I said, the inner tube poem. It's not even what it's called, and I'm totally misrepresenting it. So Janice is going to have to help me here. But her teachings just are astounding. And so we are just so grateful that she and her family will be joining us. So thank you, Janice.
Yeah. So this could be a 3-hour what we're excited about conversation, but I'm
already 30 minutes. Sorry, guys.
No, I think it's great. Oh, Micah's on. Hey, Micah, yay. And so Micah's going to be presenting, and if you don't know him or his story, your life is about to be changed quite a bit, especially around constructs around intelligence. And what does it mean to be an intelligent human, and what does the IQ measure anyway? Micah, I'm so glad you're here and that you'll be part of the Summer Leadership Institute. So as we kind of wrap up this call, I want people to know a few things. The first is we're going to have a few more live sessions. And on these live sessions, we're also going to be doing a drawing for a free class. And so meaning coming to the Summer Leadership Institute for free. So you're going to want to join us for these Facebook sessions and let people know that these are occurring. We might even give 2 away. I don't know. We're not sure. You never know. And that's great. Laderick is live tomorrow at noon. Do you mean noon Eastern time, Kristie?
I do mean noon Eastern time.
Okay.
Yep. I'll put it in the show notes better. Yeah. Okay. Laderick will be live with us on June 24th at noon Eastern time.
And if you haven't met Laderick, you just straight up need to. And he's just going to
poetry, right?
Speaking of poetry, I hope he'll do a poem for us live. He's a stunning speaker and a real advocate and a change maker in all kinds of ways. So I feel like this is enough for today, but let's put the link. Do you mind putting the link to register one more
time? Just did. And then I also said that Shelly will be with us. She confirmed last night. And so we'll all wear our SLI t-shirts. But yeah, Shelly will be in the house on July 1st. And we'll all debut some sort of, I don't have one, so I got to go buy myself one.
I feel like I've got to ship something to you quickly. I can. Maybe.
What do you need?
I said I could ship it to you quickly.
Yeah, right. Oh, and Janice put in, thank you. Yeah, the inner tube poem is Rosemary Trummer, and it's the Ode to the Inner Tube or something like that. It's a good one. I'll post it too.
Oh, good. Post it. Awesome. I want to read it. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We cannot wait to see you. We cannot wait to host this event. It's going to be amazing. Here's what we'd love for you to do. Share this with anyone that you think should be coming. So if you're a parent, share this bravely with your administrative team and say, this is something that we need in our school system. If you're an administrator or a teacher and you're interested in having this in your system, share it with the people, the powers that be, so that everybody can get access. Our hope is this live event that's virtual really changes. It's like we finally get new access points to change schools to become more inclusive in really big ways.
Yeah. Okay. And let's just remind everybody that virtual doesn't mean it's going to be boring, because we have Julie, so it's going to be fabulous. And you don't have to worry if you have to miss things, because everything will be recorded, and you'll just have it forever, and we'll just be like your new best friends. And Miss Teresa from Boulder Valley School District, she will be on our panel. Sorry, I'm calling out my friends here. So we'll just have some amazing conversations and drinks. And do you have one more connection question before we jump off?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Because now we know that we both were swim teachers at a young age, and we both love stickers.
Okay, what is your favorite breakfast cereal? So Kristie's a vegan, so this is going to be, there's no meat cereal that I've ever heard of. So this, you should like all cereal. Is this true?
They can't have milk. They have to have other kind of milk.
That's okay.
Maybe like some kind of granola. I don't know. I usually eat dinner kind of foods for breakfast. Like
what?
Like burritos or edamame. I don't know.
That's amazing. I think granola and Lucky Charms kind of like that. No, but Lucky Charms for me, granola for you.
Yeah, I would say that would be.
That sums it up for us.
We will go the way. We're the same, but very different.
I've never had edamame for breakfast in my life, and I probably won't.
I've never had Lucky Charms, and I probably won't.
That's okay. We still get along.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it. If you missed anything, I don't know if you did, we'll play it back. We'll put all the people who joined us live, you'll go into a drawing for a free VIP pass to the Summer Leadership Institute. You have the link to register. I'll put it again. And
you can share, and you can just share the link, or you can share this once it.
Yeah, the recording. Yeah. And if you have any questions, just let us know. Otherwise, join us tomorrow at noon with LaDerek, and it'll be fabulous.
It will be. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great day.